Today we're talking about lenses. We're going to talk about 3 ultimate lenses for your APS-C setup. Let's lock in and let's talk about it. In no way, shape, or form is this video sponsored. I'm going to be using 3 different name brand lenses to be specific with you. I'm using the lenses that are available to me, the lenses that I've bought myself, and that I use on a regular basis for my videography business and for photography here and there. We're going to be talking about 3 different focal lengths. So we're going to be talking about a wide angle lens, a prime lens, and a zoom lens. The wide angle lens is also a zoom lens, but we'll just call it the wide angle lens. And so let's dive right deep into this. First and foremost, we're going to talk about the Sony 18-105 f4. I have made a video about this. It's probably my most watched video on YouTube right now. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out right here. I'm not going to dive too deep into this lens, but it is a versatile, phenomenal lens. It works well for a variety of different types of shoots. 18 millimeters is wide enough to get wide landscapes, to get a wide shot, to get establishing shots, while zooming in all the way to 105 millimeters gives you good compression while also being able to be far from your subject to be able to capture discreetly or anything like that. So if you're shooting weddings or shooting events and you can't be in front of people or in front of different things, then you can be in the back of the room capturing people with this lens really, really good. The cool thing about it is that when you zoom in, as you can see, the lens doesn't move anywhere because it's all the mechanism inside there. It's got a power zoom little tab right here so that you can just do it with one finger, so you don't have to really use the ring, which makes it super great when you're holding a camera to just use your thumb to use that. And that f4, it's not too dark. It's great for outdoors. It's great for indoors in a well-lit area. I've used this for interviews as well. You just gotta have super good control of your lighting, but it's f4 throughout the whole lens. So if you're zooming in, it's not gonna get darker. If you're zooming out, it's not gonna get lighter. It's a constant aperture, which is great. Enough about the Sony lens. I have a whole video about it. You can check it out in the link in the description. So we're gonna jump to the Tamron lens. This is the Tamron 11-20 millimeter f2.8. Now the reason I got this lens is because it's cheap. That does not diminish the fact that it's a very high quality, great lens. Because we're talking about APS-C sensors here, the 11 millimeter is equivalent to just around 60 millimeters on a full frame lens. So this is super wide. This is great for your vlogging, for landscapes, for establishing wide shots. When I put this lens on, I can get this close and still be able to capture the whole scene. This is also one of those versatile lenses where it's like you can get super wide, but then when you go back to 20, it's equivalent to like a 35 mil or almost like a 50 mil. The f2.8 is constant, so when you're zooming in, zooming out, it stays the same. The only thing that's a little quirky about this lens is that at this state right here, it's at 20 millimeters, and to go wide, that's your wide state right there. So the lens kind of pops out in order for you to go wide, and that's when you're zoomed in. So it's a little bit backwards, but I guess that's what they did in order to make this affordable. Now, when it's wide, it's not moving. As you can see, it's sticking in one spot. So you can keep it wide, you can set it down, you can put it on a tripod, and it's gonna stay wide. There's nothing really that's gonna make this thing move other than the pressure that you apply in order to bring it back down. There's a lot more that I can say about this lens. I can get into specific details, but I'm not really that type of guy. I just know that I use it on a constant basis. I've given you some examples of some images, so use that to your full discretion. I'm sure that there are a ton of videos about this, so be sure to look that up. The next lens I'm going to talk about is a lens that I don't have in my hands right now because I'm currently shooting with it. It is the Sigma 16mm f1.4. This is my go-to lens for stuff like what I'm doing right now. Whether it's an interview or a talking head or a YouTube video, this is my lens. Now 16mm in a full frame scenario is more like a feels a little bit like a 24mm, so it's still wide enough to be able to capture a good scene, a good landscape, while also not feeling super wide like the 11mm where you can get super close. So depending of the room that you're in, it's going to really define what lens is going to be best for you, whether it's the Tamron or the Sigma 16mm. The Sigma 16mm is a low light legend. Because it's a prime lens and not a zoom lens, they could bring the aperture way, way down. f1.4 is super wide, letting in a ton of light. So if you're in a scenario where you don't have a ton of light, let me give you an example. As you can see, I'm not well lit right now. I'm only lit with the backlight and this light over here and with a little bit of a glow right there. And you can see that there is still a ton of light coming into the sensor. I have not done anything in post. Now, because this is an f1.4 lens, you're gonna get a ton of nice buttery smooth depth of field. For me, I am in this room. It's actually a closet, a spare closet in my apartment, and I am shooting in, I mean, I can touch the wall. So you can see how much depth of field you're getting with just a small space. Makes Hagrid over here look blurry and me in focus. It makes it, the f1.4 makes it feel like you're in a large room because of the fact that you're getting that nice depth of field. When it comes to these lenses, I always feel like you need to have at least one good prime lens. So whether it's this lens or a lens that I've talked about before, you can watch the video here, the 50mm f1.4 Canon lens, the Nifty 50. It's always a good lens to have in your arsenal because, especially if you're in a low light scenario, you can pop this bad boy on and know that you're gonna be getting a ton of light into your sensor, whether it's an APS-C sensor or a full frame sensor. Together, these three lenses are the cornerstone of my creative arsenal. It allows me to capture every moment with artistic flair, creativity, and detail. Whether I'm shooting stills or video, indoor, outdoor, day or night, these three lenses have got me covered. Tell me in the comments below, which one is your favorite lens? Do you own any of these lenses? If you own them, let me know what your favorite thing about them is. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you're notified when I post more videos, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.